Dude, I'm panicking. What the heck is going on? Is this like the worst it's ever been? Is it ever going to recover? Like what do we do?
Yeah, so today's January 24th, 2022, and I knew this day was coming. I didn't know if it would happen this month or next year or 2 years from now. But yeah, it's been a rough couple days in the crypto space. Um, for those who haven't been around all that often, I think I looked at my portfolio, it was down 40% for the week. Um, so that's great. But again, if you follow what I've been saying with dollar cost averaging and every dollar you put into crypto, you've accept that you're not touching it for at least 3 to 5 years. This is just a number on your phone. It doesn't mean the end of the world. It just means, you're holding. And now this is your real first test of, are you actually going to hold, or are you going to have paper hands, sell, take the tax, the loss, and never make it.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people might actually have been saved by how much it dipped because now they feel like, well, I can't sell now. I'll lose 50%. I got to get back at least some of it, right?
Yeah, I mean that was me in 2017, 2018. That's when I got in. So I got in right before the bull run really took off. I think at the high I was at 5x for every dollar I put in, it was worth $5. And then by the end of 2018, I think I was down like 40 to 50%. So for
Yeah.
every dollar I put in, it was worth 50 cents. And that was just like watching it go, oh my God, this is so easy. Why am I working to, all right, I guess I'm holding, like, no point in cashing out.
I'm retiring. I need to find a second job.
Yeah, I mean, it's 8 months ago, I was literally like, I could kind of quit my job right now. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, like, we'll hold, the next bull runs when I'll make it.
Yeah. Um, Obviously I was being a little bit facetious in the intro, but I think you've been in it since 2017. Have you seen, first of all, you kind of nailed this. Like you said, I think even in one of our like earliest episodes, you said that it would go down like lock it in no matter what it tops out at, it'll go down 50%. And it's down more than that, I believe, at this point.
Yeah.
Because I think it was at 34 at some point today for Bitcoin. And I'm pretty sure the peak was 69. So that means it went down more than
Yeah,
50%.
so I just have CoinGecko up. So everything recovered a little bit from 12 hours ago. Bitcoin
Yeah.
was, I think, 32. Now it's at 36. Ethereum hit 2,200. Now it's at 2,400. And then my beloved Link, I have to scroll all the way down. It was mid 13s. Now it's
Yeah.
a little under 16. But you can
Yeah.
see Link 34% for the week, Ethereum 24%, Bitcoin 13%.
Yeah.
Um, so my thought process is, if you're dollar cost averaging, if you're disciplined, maybe buy a little more this week than you typically do, just because whenever it dips a lot, you want to buy a little bit more. Um, just like if it goes up 40% in a week, you maybe not buy because chances are it'll correct at least a little bit. Um, but again, the difference between now and 2017, 2018 is there's a couple things. The first one is just institutional involvement. So there are companies that have put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Ethereum's being used, especially in the NFT space. There's a whole vector vertical that's literally based off of smart contracts, which Ethereum is the most popular one as of now.
Mhm.
So does that mean the price is going to correct tomorrow and go back up? I'm not going to say that, but 5, 10 years from now, any of these prices, we'd be lucky to buy at this price. So as long as you have the right mindset of, you're buying and holding for 3, 5, 10 years, take this as an advantage. Take this as a sale to what the potential of these crypto prices could be.
And with regards to the institutional involvement, do you think that that's a good thing or a bad thing in comparison to 3, 4 years ago?
I think it's a good thing. I mean, when I got in 2017, Jamie Dimon, the CEO of
Yeah.
JP Morgan Chase, he was like, Bitcoin's a scam. So like I was like, all right, maybe it is, but I want to put a little bit in just to have some skin in the game. Where now he's already changed his tune where he's like, no, it's needed. I don't think he's fully bullish on it, but it's not a scam anymore in his eyes. So, in 2013, when I first heard about Bitcoin, it was a scam. I heard about it a week later. I was like, oh, that scam where people bought drugs with internet money, whatever. 2017, let me just get some skin in the game. I don't really know. Then now it's like it will be the future. It should be the future. That doesn't mean it's not going to be a bumpy ride. The market cap, if I go all the way up, is 1.7 trillion. Bitcoin is 700 billion. Um, all it takes is a couple really rich people to sell or manipulate, and they could really affect the markets a lot.
Yeah. And do you think that that most of this dip was, and again, you might not know the answer. Obviously, markets are in a lot of ways unpredictable. But again, since you've seen this over a 4-year stretch at this point, do you think that the main culprit in this kind of dip is there's an initial sell-off followed by a waterfall of sell-offs that make people panic, that make people panic more, that make people panic more, and that is what sort of dumps it? Or do you think that there are just like a number of things that we couldn't even begin to zero in on exactly what it is?
Yeah, it's never just one thing. I mean, just to list off some potential reasons. One, we've been in like this bullish market for over a year. It was really like end of 2020 or yeah, end of 2020 when Bitcoin really started to hit like 12K, which was like that first time where it's like, all right, it's not hovering anymore. Um, so there's that. There's the economy. Right now, inflation's crazy. Doesn't seem to be going much better. There's all these talks of rate hikes from the Fed. Um, and again, like as mature as crypto is, it's not truly mature. So people say, oh, crypto's a hedge on inflation, a hedge on the stock market, hedge on the Fed. So that means if inflation goes up, crypto has to go up because it's a hedge. But in reality, that doesn't always happen right away. Um,
Well, and sorry to cut you off. I think that one of, if you think about it just from a sell-off perspective, you might have people who are just, because of those heightened rates, or maybe they're hearing things behind closed doors that they need to cover their asses on. Maybe they need to pay out like initial dividends knowing they won't be able to do it later. Maybe they need to like increase budget in certain areas knowing they're going to have increased cost in certain areas, and maybe they're selling their cryptocurrency to get something more liquid that they can use with their current business model. And if enough people start to do that, and you have the addition of just the panic sell-offs from people who are in it just as a get rich quick scheme, um, that could very, very easily be sort of a waterfall of events, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's going to be interesting is there's a lot of companies that put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle a potential multi-year bear market. So if they like MicroStrategy, this Sailor's company, if they're down 50% on all the Bitcoin they bought, like as a publicly traded company, how is that going to go with the stockholders? Like, is that okay? That I don't know. There will be some companies that might have to sell just to save themselves and save their stock price short term. But there will be the ones that hold. I know El Salvador, the country, the president's been very comical on Twitter. He's been posting a lot of McDonald's meme pictures. He keeps buying. So El Salvador, they could be like a really rich country in a couple years, but we'll see. But the one thing I think people need to be prepared for is the way, if it is a bear market, like a 1 to 2 to 3 year bear market, certain things you have to be prepared for is we might hover in the 30s for a while just to give enough hope to people to go, okay, like I'm down 30-40% from when I bought, but that's fine, I'll hold. But then what'll happen is it'll go from like 36 to like 22. And that wipes everyone out. That's when all the YouTubers disappear, all the Twitter handles delete their accounts. That's when the 10 grand you spent thinking you'd be able to retire is now worth 2 grand. And you're like, like, what do I do? But what do? Nothing changes. Again, if your strategy is buy and hold, you dollar cost average. If it dips a lot, like 13 to 20% in a week, buy a little more. If it's hovering, just buy your traditional whatever you're typically allocating each week. But again, you need the mindset of you're not trying to make you're not trying to make a lot in 2022. You're trying to make a lot by 2030 or 2040. This is, think of it like a retirement account.
Yeah.
So it's not like a 401k where it's going to be a steady 10% increase each year. It's going to be rough, but because of that, that's how you can get the 5x in a year. And when that's your 401k or your something that you're using as a 401k or your retirement, that's how you get it.
And I think the quote that you and I use a lot is the technology hasn't changed. So if you were in this to get rich quick, first of all, we just explained why it's not going to happen. Like not right now. Like theoretically you could get rich quick. You better get in at exactly the right time, or most of the people who are going to get rich quick with this already did so because they got in super early, way before this stuff went up to even remotely what it is now. The technology hasn't changed. If you're in crypto for what we would describe as the right reasons, like we sort of see an inevitability with the way that this is going to, be utilized, the problems it's going to solve, the markets it's going to fill, then use this as an opportunity to continue to invest in something that you believe in. Like if you're looking to get the heck out, you probably didn't believe in this the way that you tried to convince yourself that you did. The idea is putting money into something that you believe long term is going to be bigger than it is right now. And I know that that's what you and I believe. And again, if you want to be in crypto for the reasons that, again, for lack of a better term, matter more than just gambling to make a quick buck, then there should be nothing about this that scares you. Literally nothing. You should just be seeing it as an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And again, if you're, nothing against the people who are day traders who are trying to make a quick buck,
Mhm.
but I've never been able
Oh,
to
I'm
do
not
that
talking shit,
successfully.
and you know that I'm not talking shit. It's just a matter of like who are we talking to right now? The people who want to
Yeah,
do it
like
the right way, or the
anyone in
people who
that
want to get
boat
rich quick?
is
Yeah.
not watching this video.
Yes.
They're rich doing something, or they have some paid program, or they have some expert kind of giving them advice and whatever.
Yep.
You can try doing that, but it's so much more riskier, and especially in a bear market, that's when that becomes like you can lose everything real quick. Where this is a good time to practice not looking at your portfolio every day, maybe learning the technology behind the projects you are invested in. So, what is a smart contract? If you just know the high level what it is, maybe do some research, watch some YouTube videos on the specifics, some of the tech behind it. I always talk about Chainlink. Maybe do some research on why Chainlink and decentralized oracles are needed. Then, what you can do is follow the NFT metaverse space, and then as companies and projects get released over the next couple years, you can see, oh, all these new companies and Facebook are releasing the metaverse and they're all touting decentralized Oracle networks. Well, Chainlink's one, so let me invest in that. Doesn't mean Chainlink's going to go up tomorrow, but in 10 years, if everything goes the way it's supposed to, I doubt it's going to be $15. It might be $150 or $1,500, depending on where this market goes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's always been mine and your message. And honestly, we're probably by the time let's say this podcast keeps going for another 5 years, 20% of the videos we have might just be, hey guys, like just so you know, just hold. Like for five
Yeah.
years, we might have like a video per week where we're just reminding people, like, hey, remember that thing that you believed in? Nothing's changed other than what people are paying for it right now. Literally
Yeah.
nothing.
That's like
So
what is it? Motivation. It's like a drug. You need like it every day. Here's what I don't
yeah,
know. I botched
yeah.
it, but something like
So
that.
it's like imagine that you I mean, speaking of every day and some kind of an addiction or a need or something like that, imagine you were like a big time coffee drinker, right? Like, and all of a sudden coffee is like $10 one day. It's like, all right, maybe I'm not going to be able to buy as much coffee for $10 a cup as I'd like to, but still need my cup of coffee. So like, I believe in this product. It does good things for me. And I know the benefits of the bean and the antioxidants and the caffeine. It's all good. And then it goes down to $1. What are you going to do? Be like, clearly something about this coffee. It's just no, I'm
Yeah.
not about it anymore. It's $1. It's like, no, it's still got all the antioxidants, all the flavor, all the caffeine. Like you can still dip into it and it's still going to give you the same benefits. So
Yeah, the only caveat to that is if you're buying coins that we haven't spoken about that you don't really know a lot about. Like I'll just pick a random one, like Lido Staked Ether or Magic Internet Money. If you don't know what these are, you might find out that coffee is just water with brown food coloring.
well, that's why I'm specifically calling out technologies that you've looked into, because not all of these are the same technology. They're all
Yeah.
cryptocurrencies, but every single piece of technology is different. And again, you and I, for the most part, we talk about three. We talk about Bitcoin, we talk about Ethereum, we talk about Chainlink. And
Mhm.
I'm sure we'll talk about others like in the future, and we might even start investing in others now that it's a bear market. You know what I mean? But for the most part, we stick with the ones that we know a lot about, the ones that do have that mainstream backing that you were mentioning earlier in the conversation. And again, until we catch wind that for one reason or another, the technology around these has gone in a direction that we no longer believe is correct or right, uh, we're going to be sticking by this thing that we believe in. And bottom line is that we just know we think this is going to be bigger in the future than it is now, and for that reason alone, there's no reason to not continue trusting our intuition.
Yeah, and this is times like these are when you realize, are you actually going to buy and hold? Are you actually going to dollar cost average, or were you just doing whatever you felt like and you don't have a strategy and you're going to lose everything?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. To make sure you know you're not alone. Like you mentioned, like being down like 40% for the week in your whole portfolio.
yeah,
For the first week, basically for the first week in like it had to have been like 5 months at this point. I am officially down on my crypto investments from what I put in versus what I've gotten now.
yeah,
I had been I had been like barely in the black for like a few weeks, few months, and then it took that sudden dip this week, and finally I'm in the red officially. So again, not panicking. Like believe what you want from the intro. I was kind of just queuing you up, but this is just an opportunity. I told you I got a big commission check coming at the end of the month. I was going to use it for some fun stuff. Now I'm going to use it for some really fun stuff.
yeah.
Just going to get some more
So,
crypto, baby.
yeah, this is your hazing, so to
Yeah.
speak, to get into
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
crypto
Oh,
club.
this is my hazing. Yeah. I mean, now that now that I'm a Florida boy, I think, maybe I'll just, I don't know. I think the best thing to do would be like invest as much in Chainlink and Ethereum as possible, hope that it bounces back up like 50 to 100% by like mid 2023. And at that point, like, I don't know, maybe buy a Lamborghini and just like, and
And
like,
Lambo.
yeah, yeah. And then just drive it to and from like St. Pete and Miami every weekend just to get everything I can out of it. Just live the true Florida life.
Yeah, sounds like a good strategy.
Yeah. What are you going to do after you make a YOLO buy this week and it goes up 150%?
I just hold. I don't know. Unless I need the money for something, I just hold and I go, all right, I guess I'm not actually selling.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not rich enough to just use my money yet. So I'm just going to keep holding.
Yeah. All right.
All
Well,
right. Well,
hopefully, in a week we'll be like, oh, it's down another 50%.
yeah, and hopefully we have a few more believers. Even I hope we get subscribers, if only for people to subscribe to us to cross their fingers on us looking stupid over the course of a lengthy period of time. Like
Yeah, I mean, we have all the receipts.
I want the hate subscriptions. I want all of them right now. So just bring them in, comment, let us know if you believe what we believe.
All right.
Yeah.